Midfielder number 22, Julia Greer, the 5'8" Charlotte, North Carolina native, leads the Terrier in points, goals, shots, and is tied for the lead in shots on goal, and is tied for second on the team in assists. Her best stretch of the season came September 7th to 14th, where she recorded 2 goals and an assist within 3 matches against Charleston Southern, Georgia State, and Stetson. Now for our home player to watch, it is Isabella DeMarco, one of the all-time greats in Western Carolina University history. Her 5 goals and 1 assist in her last 2 matches earned her the Southern Conference Player of the Week, as well as being selected to the Top Drawer Soccer National Team of the Week. She ranks 4th in the Southern Conference in total points with 18, but leads all players with 14 points, 6 goals, and 2 assists in Southern Conference play this season. We are going to take a quick break here on today's coverage of this matchup. We'll return with the lineups and kickoff on today's presentation of ESPN Plus Southern Conference College Soccer. This presentation of Southern Conference Soccer on ESPN Plus Catamount Soccer this season is brought to you by First Bank. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup for the Wofford Terriers tonight. That First Bank lineup is Elizabeth Navola, Elizalde, Markey, Miner, Gower, Greer, Bernhard, Demars, Mullen, Tarifdar, and Valdez, the starting 11 for the Terriers tonight. Now switching over to the Western Carolina University Catamounts. This lineup brought to you by First Bank: Leanne Trudell, Bertrand, Wise, Siska, Goklowski, Susie, Muth, Whitaker, Davis, Robitelli, and DeMarco. All 5 seniors starting tonight on senior night here in Cullowhee. My name is Josh Thompson. Thank you for joining us for this broadcast of college soccer on ESPN Plus. The Southern Conference is heating up. We are in the final stages of the regular season before we get ready for the Southern Conference tournament. Where the tournament is going to be hosted this year is still very much up in the air as we're underway here. The last 2 seasons, the tournament has run through Cullowhee. The Catamounts are going to try and do the same this season as well. They sit 3-1-1 in conference play. Robitelli on the ball in the midfield. She's going to look wide to Abby Wise. Wise chips one in, blocked away, and the Terriers will try and break. Some pressure there by Goklowski. Robitelli chases down the loose ball, handled well by Julia Greer. The Terriers making their way forward, looking to establish some possession in the Catamount half of the field. The Terriers moving around on the far side of the pitch right now, right in front of the Catamount bench. They'll play it backwards. DeMarco going to provide some pressure. Good, stable presence at the back for Wofford. This was going to be deflected out of play right at the Catamount bench. Wofford will take the throw quickly. Looking downfield, it bounces around. The Catamounts able to gain control through Mary Muth in the middle. Muth has options left and right. Suits decides to go to Whitaker. Whitaker looks to the far side to Addison Davis. Davis will look wide for Wise. Back to Leanne Trudell. Trudell, a very active sweeper-keeper style. See her get involved frequently. Muth will look to go over the top and spring a running DeMarco. However, it's headed away by Wofford. Whitaker will take the throw for the Catamounts just inside the Wofford half a play. Mary Muth to Davis. Catamounts sending everybody forward. Davis over the top, finds Siska. She heads it forward. Well read by the Terriers' defense. They'll look to try and break. Sophia Goklowski providing some pressure on Katie Markey. Ball clear, but only as far as Samantha Whitaker. Whitaker goes inside to Siska. Siska sweeps it outside. Isabella DeMarco now inside the box using that speed. She'll drop to her fellow senior teammate Robitelli, who will look for Abby Wise on the outside. Now down into Emma Susi, one of the captains, the only non-senior captain on the team this year. The junior from Greensboro. earned her starting spot earlier this season. Swarming pressure by the Catamounts. 3-on-1, no help coming for the Terriers on that far sideline. They're finally able to move the ball around, but Robitelli is there to regain possession for the Catamounts. She'll pass back to Davis, and now all the way back to Trudell. Trudell, one of the only goalies, if not the only goalie in school history, with multiple goals to her account. One from the penalty spot, another had a saved penalty, and an open play goal after that. Trudell put the rebound in the back of the net earlier this season. Abby Wise challenges there, boots the ball back downfield. Siska throws her body around. Good physical play. Carson DeMar is not thrown off. She'll just put the ball out of play for a Catamount throw deep in Terrier territory. Throw in goes to Siska. Siska tries to shield. Can't do so. DeMars wins her team a goal kick. This will be the first time we take a look at Elizabeth Navola tonight, the goalkeeper. 5'8" sophomore from Davidson, North Carolina. He's really taken hold of the starting job this season. One of the top keepers in the Southern Conference in terms of saves and saves per game. Ball bounces through the midfield. Robitelli heads it on into the mixer. Greer gets a touch, and now it's sent out wide to number 8, Elizalde. Dancing on the ball is Minor. The Terriers look to switch field. Guklowski tries to provide some pressure. Good release valve up top for the Terriers was number 23, Allie Bernhard. She can't keep control. Now Mary Muth will send the ball forward. Siska gets a toe to it, couldn't quite bring it under control. But the combination of Siska and DeMarco, amongst the most dangerous duos in the Southern Conference, not just this year, but over the last 4 years. Those two have combined multiple times, put the Catamounts ahead. Greer and Guklowski battling. Greer gets the better of it, wins it forward for Markey. Now back to Greer. Greer looks inside to Minor. Now to the far sideline there. You see that Wofford has struggled offensively in the Southern Conference, just 2 goals this season. As they look to try and break on the Catamount box. Put that into perspective, Isabella DeMarco has scored 3 goals and 2 goals in each of her last 2 matches. So single-handedly outscoring the Terriers in their entire conference play as Isabella DeMarco over the last 2 games. Again, the 5 goals, a first half hat trick the last time she played on this field against the VMI Keydets. Across the conference today, Sanford and VMI had an early kickoff. Sanford started to cruise 2-0, ended up giving up that 2-0 lead. It was 2-2 heading into halftime before the Bulldogs were able to recover and end up winning that match 4-2. Ball on the back line for the Terriers. It's recycled to Navola. Catamounts happy to cede position right now. They'll trigger a press when they can. Ball is lumped downfield over everybody's head. Davis is going to be the first one there. She'll play back to Muth. A good give and go there between the 2 center backs for the Catamounts. Addison Davis been extremely impressive. The freshman made her presence known in the starting lineup as here goes Isabella DeMarco over the top. DeMarco takes a step back, drops it to Siska. Siska fires a shot, it's blocked away. DeMarco will drop it for Robitelli. Robitelli tries to put it a pass for Siska. It's just behind her and just a little overrun. 2 seniors could not connect there. The Catamounts had an opportunity to potentially put a point on the board. Catamounts have been red hot in the last several games. 12 goals in 2 games. Again, that 9-0 win against the VMI Keydets here on this field last week. And then on Sunday, they traveled down to Charleston, picked up a 3-0 win. And DeMarco picking up a brace in that one in the first half. That, of course, taking place in Charleston, DeMarco's hometown. Davis steps up and intercepts the pass forward. Good recovery by Wofford. Minor will try and play it back. goes to Gower in the midfield. Gower had a very good season so far. The senior from Greenville, South Carolina, alongside of Greer, have been some of the best options for the Terriers this year. Ball goes over the top. Samantha Whitaker from her fullback position bombing forward. She passes to DeMarco. Whitaker continues her run in. DeMarco tries to put the cross in. Gets a little bit over top of it. Muth heads it back inside the Terriers' box. It's going to fall to the feet of Bertrands. Bertrands out to Whitaker. Whitaker will fire a shot. It will go well wide. Navola with the goal kick. Just under 10 minutes gone in this matchup in the first half. Again, the Catamounts and Terriers have seen each other a lot over the last 2 seasons. They have played 4 games. Here's Susie with a run down the outside. Susie given space. She dumps it inside to Mila Siska. Siska will put a cross in. Actually, that's a shot in. Oh, just off target from Mila Siska. Navola will put it into the midfield. As we take a look at that replay there, you see it starting to go, just went to the wrong side of the post there. The height and the power was right. The aim just slightly off from the senior from Charlotte. Just mentioned 4 meetings between these 2 teams in the last 2 calendar years as the Catamounts cycle back to Trudell. Catamounts lead the all-time series 21-7-3, have won each of the last 5 games, or excuse me, each of the last 4 games by 5 goals, 6-1 and 6-1 in 2024, 5-0 and 5-0 in 2023. Muth moving the ball forward. Wofford sitting back, packing in their defensive side of the field. Booted back to the midfield, headed forward by Bernhard. However, Davis is there. Davis looking forward to Susie. Susie drops back to Robatelli. Robatelli now sprinting down the sideline. Usually see her playing through the middle of the field, showing off her speed. Robatelli will drop back to Abby Wise. Wise will put a cross in. It is touched by DeMarco onto Guklowski. Guklowski tries to dribble. Greer is there challenging. Good defense from the freshman who has been all offense for the Terriers lately. Greer putting in a shift deep in her own territory there to ensure that Guklowski, the Catamounts' second leading scorer, couldn't get a shot off. The Catamounts swarming pressure once again is handled well. The Terriers earn a throw directly in front of their bench. Throw comes in. It's batted forward to Davis. The Catamounts will regain control and cycle through. Lots of space here on this near sideline. Ball going forward. DeMarco able to get an initial touch on it. The ball bounces off of her. Good defensive play by Mullen on that back line to not allow DeMarco to get an extra touch. However, the Route 1 soccer that is being played by the Terriers certainly not paying any dividends, as they are essentially just bombing the ball forward, allowing Western to go attack, attack, attack. Catamounts switch field to Mary Muth. Muth being given lots of space to try and pick a pass. She does love to try and go over the top as well. Whitaker has lots of space. She'll go on the ground to DeMarco. DeMarco was battling hard with Mullen there. Guklowski steps up. Whitaker intercepts the pass. Whitaker has DeMarco inside. DeMarco dribbles out of the box. DeMarco gains a step down the sideline. Good sliding tackle there from Mullen. It'll be a Catamount corner kick. The first of the matchup for either team. Catamounts have done well offensively off of set pieces this season.
Catamount corner brought to you by
the last time they played here, Ava Robatelli getting a header in off of a corner kick. The defensive player of the year last year in the Southern Conference, has the best leaping ability on the team by far. That one goes short. Bertrand wins it back. Kuklowski will put another one into the box. Lots of bodies there. The Terriers head it as far back as Whitaker. Whitaker just chips it into the box. Siska is there to head it down to Robitelli. Back inside to Siska. Ends up doing a whole split there. Looks like she may be in some pain down in the box. She pops back up as the cross comes inside. Navola gathers at her near post. Have to keep an eye on Siska and how she's doing there. Took an unfortunate tumble in that passage of play. Ended up doing nearly a full split trying to reach to grab the ball, and then her plant foot gave out underneath her. Looks like she is shaking it off. Nobody on the Catamount bench warming right now. So the captain will continue to move the ball forward and be that focal physical point of the spear of the Catamount attack, doing a lot of the dirty work to win the ball and then dump either way for streaming wingers. Here you see there is Siska, kind of that plant foot sliding out from under her. There's the ball back in play now. Susie with a good dribble to create some space. Emma Susie got lots of speed on that far sideline. Susie will put a cross inside. Siska can't quite get there. Again, stretching long for it. Having some issues with her captain's armband. Decides to toss it just to the side of the Wofford goal. That's all right. I don't think we will forget that Siska, one of the Catamounts' captains. Robitelli in the air wins that one. Susie jockeying in the middle as well. Good play from her to bring the ball down. Now out to Abby Wise. Fifth-year senior looks forward to DeMarco. DeMarco has that one taken off of her foot, but Ava Robitelli is there. The Catamount switch to the near sideline. Samantha Whitaker tries to move the ball forward. Greer again putting in a challenge. One of two Greers on the roster, Mary Lease as well as Julia. Mary Lease, a defender, Julia an attacker by nature, but Julia doing some great work defensively to stop the Catamount attack so far. Catamounts will cycle back to Davis. Wise looks forward, bounces off the knee of DeMarco. She almost gets back to an electric speed from Isabella DeMarco. It's really a hallmark of the DeMarco sisters in their time here in Cullowhee. Of course, Alexis DeMarco graduating last year. She was back today to celebrate senior day with her younger sister. Both incredible players for the Catamounts. Ball hit forward up to Bernhard, but Ava Robitelli takes it back, and the low block for the Terriers continues. Siska able to get ahead on it towards goal, but Navola quick to it, will come out to grab. Navola sends one sky high as the sun's setting here in the mountains of western North Carolina. DeMarco on the ball now. DeMarco looks forward to Siska. Siska plays down the sideline for Susie. Susie tries to get there, does initially get there, runs a circle around the defender. The ball bouncing around, pinging around in the Wofford area. Eventually it's going to be sent out of play for a Catamount throw, but shows you how quick Emma Susie is. Sliding tackle, had the ball, and then she ran a full circle trying to find it and still was able to put in a good pass that could have created a dangerous chance. Bertrand's now wide to Robitelli. Robitelli looks forward for Siska. Siska wasn't there. It's batted away by Wofford. Back heel of Robitelli gets there. Siska shrugging off the first tackle, gets to Kuklowski, who gives it back to Siska. Siska will drop for Bertrand. Really good game awareness from the midfielders for Wofford to clear that one away. Some intricate 1-2 passing not paying off for the Catamounts. Davis moving forward. She'll look for Wise as Davis trots back to her center back spot, which right now mostly consists of her playing in the half of the Wofford Terriers. Currently, as you look at the field, Abby Wise is going to do a throw in. There are 6 defenders in the box. there are all 10 defenders within 5 to 10 yards of the box of the Terriers. So really parking the bus right now is Wofford. They want to come in here and to pick up a point in any way possible. Again, the Terriers coming into this matchup 0-3-2 in the Southern Conference, having drawn 0-0 with UNC Greensboro. Again, they're looking for their first win of this season. Right now, playing for a draw, though, based on the way they are lined up with that deep block. Whitaker looks over the top for DeMarco. DeMarco is going to win the race there. It's bounced off of the Terriers' DeMars. It'll be another corner. Excuse me, that must have bounced back off DeMarco, not DeMars. And it'll be a goal kick. DeMarco was calling for that one from Whitaker. As she was calling for it, it took Whitaker just a hair too long to pull the trigger on the pass, which allowed DeMars to close nicely on Isabella DeMarco. Julie Greer. Guklowski wins that one back, all the way back to Abby Wise. Wise plays the ball forward to DeMarco. Good first touch, keeps the ball on her foot, looks back wide to Whitaker. Whitaker has support in Guklowski on the near sideline. Guklowski will take on the defender. She'll put in a cross. It's going to go all the way into the box before being cleared out. Lucy Bertrands will win it. Ava Robitelli is there. Robitelli tries to play in Siska. Siska's going to get there. The flag stays down all the way across the box, just behind Susie. Catamounts having some time in the box. It's blocked away by Gower playing deep. The Catamount pressure keeping the ball in the deep in the Terriers' territory. Ball cleared out as far as Whitaker. She'll play back into Siska. Siska has lots of space. She'll look to play in DeMarco. DeMarco will put a shot that goes wide. Isabella DeMarco looking to strike for the 6th time in the last 2 games in the first half. All 3 of her goals. As we take a look here, Siska reading the run of DeMarco. DeMarco fires and it is just on the outside of the post. Wofford going to make some changes. Bring in a new striker up top. That is number 7, Ines Obradovac. Had a really great year for the Terriers last year. Hasn't quite found her spot in this new system with a new head coach for the Terriers. Ball is going to fall to the feet of DeMarco. She'll play in Susie, left it a little short, and the Terriers now will try and build some momentum and move the ball forward. Obradovac plays the ball back. And it'll go to the back line once again for the Terriers. Siska will try and provide some pressure. Here comes Lucy Bertrands to force the ball wide. Guklowski there. A trip in the middle by Lucy Bertrands. Good coverage by Sophia Guklowski. Guklowski has a run down the outside from DeMarco. DeMarco now on the ball, looks to put in a cross. It's blocked away and then booted out of play by the Wofford Terriers. I believe that was Katie Markey on the defense on that one for the Terriers. Davis with the big first touch. Obradovac tries to pounce on it. Davis gets it past her to Robitelli. Now the ball intercepted. Obradovac will look to try and spring a counterattack. She's got support wide either way. She goes to the far sideline, cut back inside, bad first touch, and then a foul. That one did not work the way that Julia Greer had drawn it up. One she wanted to keep closer first touch, then frustratedly takes out Robitelli. You see the ball bouncing there. Just leaves the leg out with Robitelli trying to win the ball. Guklowski looks back inside to Lucy Bertrand. Obradovac is there. She'll duel with Robitelli. Robitelli will make sure it goes back to Muth. Guklowski on the outside. That is not a good first touch from her, and Wofford will grab possession. Cool evening here in Cullowhee tonight. The Terriers look to go over top to the recently substituted in Kaylee Gonzalez, moving forward from a wing/wing back position. Davis looks to Wise. Now working the ball back are the Catamounts. Sending it to this near sideline to Samantha Whitaker. Has lots of room to try and pick out a pass. She does so. DeMarco puts a hand through the back of the defender. Foul drawn by Bailey Mullen. DeMarco trying to get around, just used the body a little bit too much, sent Mullen crashing to the ground. Navola now with the goal kick. Ball sent forward. Gutklowski to DeMarco. Now on to Siska. Siska shielding. Plays free DeMarco. DeMarco in full sprint down the sideline looking for a runner inside. Siska is there. Gutklowski is there. Patient by Mullen. And now here come the Terriers looking to spring an attack. Stepping up is Mary Muth to win the ball back. Ball bouncing around. Obradovac has it taken off of her foot by Robitelli. Gutklowski looks inside to DeMarco. DeMarco has it taken off of Robitelli. Robitelli liked the idea, just let her a little bit too far. There's Mila Siska providing some pressure from the front line to stop what could have been a Wofford counterattack. Now the Terriers very much more spread out throughout the field. They have shifted from kind of really parking the bus when the Catamounts in possession to now stretching from nearly box to box. Some substitutes coming in. Number 12 for the Terriers, Madeline Smolinski. Out for the Terriers, Markey. Davis looks for Whitaker. The Terriers are getting back in that deep shape now. Whitaker out to Gutklowski. Gutklowski has DeMarco on a run. DeMarco has put in crosses so far, puts a cross in, flashes it across, and it's batted away by Ellie Gower. It'll be a corner kick for the Catamounts. This will be their third of the contest so far. Gutklowski lining up over top of it. Catamounts crowding the box. Puts one all the way in. Oh, just on the top of the netting. Nearly an Olympico from Gutklowski. She's done just about everything this year, including a bomb from deep in the last game against VMI. A breakout season for Sophia Gutklowski. Let's take another look at that one. As it just floats in the air and curves slightly too far. Hits the top of the crossbar and bounces the wrong way for Western. Ball sent up to Obradovac. Big target forward, plays it backwards. Then good pressure from the Catamounts will earn them a throw in front of their bench. They take it quickly before Wofford can get reset. It's batted out of play by number 15, Delaney Minor, the junior from Columbia, South Carolina. Muth will take it right at the halfway mark. Just about 19 minutes remaining here in half number one. Slow moving affair for the Catamounts, just 4 shots, none on target. The Terriers have not recorded a shot so far in this contest. Ball bounces off of DeMarco, cleared out of play. It'll be a throw for the Cats in deep territory. Isabella DeMarco with space. She'll rip a shot. Navola will dive towards her near post and bring that one in. DeMarco putting another shot on. Certainly a shot on target there. 5 now for the Catamounts. Navola's first save of the contest. Robitelli gets there and wins the ball in the air. Terriers will look to run the ball through Minor in the middle. Best Terrier stretch of possession in Catamount territory so far. Bombing down the wing She'll put a cross in. It's cleared away by the Catamounts. This will be a Terrier corner kick. Wofford's best stretch of play there for the whole game. They'll now have a scoring opportunity off of a corner kick on the far sideline. Back to take it is going to be Gower. Wofford, plenty of bodies in the box, have left just 2 back. Actually putting 2 marking DeMarco just in case the Catamounts win it quickly. Ball floats into the box. Header is just wide. Wofford with their first shot of the contest. Take another look at that one. Great angle here as it comes in and goes just on the wrong side of the post for the Terriers. Something the Catamounts have to be aware of. They sprung that counterattack very, very quickly. Can't be lulled into a false sense of security with the possession. Terriers showing that there is ability to really spring forward there. Catamounts looking down the near sideline, bounces off the feet of Whitaker. Catamounts will be bringing on a substitute, Malia Roberts, warming up, preparing to come in. We'll see who she comes in for. And if head coach Chad Miller looks to maybe change things up here, Obradovac pressuring the freshman Davis. She handles that well to the senior Wise. Wise looks over the top, looking for DeMarco. DeMarco sprinting, that acceleration getting there. Played well, though, by the Terriers' defense. Stepping up and winning the ball is Robatelli. Now the Catamounts trying to put that pressure on in Terrier territory once again. Obradovac tries to dump it back. Can't do so. Ball is chipped up to Mila Siska. It's headed away by Wofford. Eventually, it's going to go to that far sideline. It'll be cleared forward. Abby Wise is there. Isabella DeMarco on the ball. She'll drop it back for Robatelli. She's got support in the form of Whitaker in the middle of the field. Whitaker turns it around for Mary Muth. Muth dribbling up from her position on the back line, tries a pass through, but it bounces right back to her. Now to Guklowski. Guklowski with a first-time touch. Siska back outside to Guklowski. That one just sent forward, but Muth is there. Muth puts it in the middle of the box. Susie going to try and run onto it. It is eventually just cleared away by the Terriers' Tarifdar. Catamounts bringing in multiple substitutions now. We mentioned Malia Roberts coming in. She'll replace Lucy Bertrand. And also joining for the Catamounts will be number 22, Gabriella Vetrano. Vetrano really has done well this season. Her second year in Colorway really blossomed into a big-time contributor, won the Southern Conference Offensive Player of the Week for her performance in the Catamounts' win over the NC State Wolfpack earlier this season in non-conference play. Robatelli kind of battling that one around. Pressure again. Looks like DeMarco was the one to make way for Vetrano. Erica Gariepi going down. Vetrano and Gariepi had been the first 2 offensive subs off the bench for the Catamounts early this season. Gariepi down with a season-ending injury. Vetrano has stepped up even more. Ball missed time by the freshman Davis. There's going to be a 1-on-1 here. Bringing the ball down the field is Obradovac. She gets past Muth, trying to create some space. The Catamounts swarm. Obradovac still in control. Great power and great technique there to keep the ball. The Terriers now will look to try and get it inside. There is space. Bad touch by the Terriers. It's still bouncing around, and eventually the offside flag is up, and the Catamounts will get a free kick. Get a dangerous attack there. The freshman Addison Davis got caught out by Enos Obradovac. Catamounts swarmed back, but Wofford that close once again. Youth plays it up to Roberts. That's her first touch of the game. Roberts getting her first career goal, her first career brace in the second half against VMI. Ball goes forward to Vetrano. Vetrano brings it down, uses the toe to poke it up towards Siska. Siska puts a shot on. It goes just across the face of the goal. Navola was caught out. Siska couldn't quite get the timing and the shot on target, but a dangerous flash across the goal mouth there. We're going to see some more substitutions for the Catamounts. Heading out is going to be Emma Susi. That is Kylie White checking in, number 7, the freshman from Virginia Beach, Virginia. So Robatelli in the Catamounts 4-4-2 diamond, gone from the back of the diamond to the front of the diamond. Roberts sitting in that more defensive mid position. And the two sides will be Guklowski, the wings, Guklowski and White. The two strikers up top for the Catamounts, Siska, Vetrano in the back line, as it has been for the majority of the season. Whitaker, Muth, Davis, and Wise. Ball goes all the way across the field to Abby Wise. An iron woman in her career here, starting over 70 matches. Siska tries to bring the ball down. It is cleared, but only as far as Whitaker. Whitaker puts a cross in deep. Navola comes out and claims. Siska was making a run there. However, Navola, quick off of her line, is the sophomore from Davidson. Ball goes deep up in the air. Bit of a mismatch there with Greer on White. Terriers will move the ball wide. Looking to try and cross field. Well read by Whitaker. Now the Catamounts going to try and get there. Picking up the team is Delaney Minor, winning that ball in midfield, stopping a Catamount break dead in its tracks. Robatelli and Malia Roberts will switch positions. Roberts will head to the top of the diamond for Western. She's got great size in that midfield. Another potential target as the Catamounts look to bomb the ball forward. Whitaker out wide. Tried a 1-2 with Whitaker and Guklowski, not on the same page. Now up to Obradovac. She'll look wide. She is going to lead Gonzalez a bit too far. So the Catamounts going to bring in 2 more substitutes. Mila Siska and Sophia Guklowski heading out. Maddie Lopez will head in, as will Madison Gellner. Maddie Lopez, and tremendous speed. Seen her play all up and down the wing, both on the back line and from a more forward wing position. Gellner started the season as the winger on the outside, and opposite Guklowski has now been used more as a striker as the need has shown itself. Obradovac takes that one off the feet of Wise. Wise looks back for Davis. Talked to head coach Chad Miller in the preseason about what kind of freshman or new impact he was planning on seeing. And he mentioned that he wouldn't be surprised to see Davis get a lot of time. He can play her anywhere in 5 positions. The ball comes in. It's headed back towards goal. Wofford a little slow on the clearance. Another dangerous opportunity for the Catamounts. Whitaker looks for Maddie Lopez. Lopez now will cut inside, puts the pass into Gellner. Gellner drops it back for Whitaker. Whitaker now forward. Gellner is there. Tries to put the ball in. It's deflected. And it will be a goal kick by Navola. One of the benefits of having Maddie Lopez, a weapon on the wings, you can trust Whitaker to bomb forward in a run. And if Lopez is behind, more than adequate enough to do the job defensively. Ball goes into the midfield. Lopez with the header. She looks back to Whitaker. Davis now out wide to White. Back to Wise. Wise can't move the ball forward, so they're going to switch the play back to the near sideline. Just under 8.5 minutes remaining. Again, a quiet game so far. Neither team really having any great opportunities on target. Malia Roberts will look wide to Kylie White. White has really good technical ability. Puts it back inside for Roberts. Roberts can't quite keep control. Looked like a handball there. And it will be. The Catamounts will have a free kick in a dangerous position. See who takes it. Looks like right now Mary Muth is lined up over top of it. Take a look here and we'll see the ball bounce up on Obradovac. Yeah, there's no arguing that one. Unfortunate, clearly wasn't intentional, but as she was trying to set herself, ball bounced right off the hand of Obradovac. Catamounts all lined up on the far side of the box. They'll make runs near post. Ball goes in. Robitelli wins it. Robitelli stays down in the box. And the medical team going to go and check on the senior. Again, she had the header. We look away from that. We will see Davis and Muth, Catamounts back line. Robitelli now has sat up, which is great news. Continue to monitor how she is doing as she receives attention from the Catamount training team. Talk a little bit more about the Wofford Terriers during this break. Again, one of just 2 teams without a Southern Conference win this season. VMI being the other. They were predicted to finish 8th in the preseason Southern Conference coaches poll. In 2024, they had a 6-12-2 record overall and a 1-7-1 mark in conference play. Robitelli now to her feet. Good to see her up and walking to the sideline. Good round of applause for her. Again, honored earlier today as part of our senior day ceremonies. Never want to see anybody injured, but especially on a special day, knowing it's one of the final few matches she'll have on this field. Here are the standings going into today. 2 undefeated teams, 3-0-2, ETSU and Sanford. Sanford getting a win today to move to 4-0-2. Catamount sitting at 3-1-1 in 3rd place, just a point behind the Bucks and the Bulldogs. Again, the Terriers towards the bottom of the table, 0-3-2. The Citadel picking up a big win today as well to move to 2-3-1. It is all to play for in the Southern Conference this year. The teams really hardly separated at all. The amount of draws that you see there shows you kind of the depth and the parity in the conference this year. Going to do a drop ball, should just be popped over the top as the Catamounts were in possession as Robitelli went down. Roberts is there, mistimes the jump, but Robitelli right back in the mix of it with a header. Obradovac takes it off of Muth. Obradovac will look wide to Greer. Greer bombing forward into the box. Oh, a sliding tackle by Greer. Wise got there. And then Wise, it looked like Wise tripped Greer. You heard the shout from Wofford. No foul called there. Now the Catamounts have a player ripped down by Minor. She points forward to the foul earlier. Let's take another look at that combo of what's happening moving forward. Check that. We're going to stay with live actions. The Catamounts mount an attack here. Maddie Lopez has lots and lots of space. She's cutting into the box. Lopez plays it back, looking for Roberts. It's going to bounce out to Whitaker. Whitaker tries to move the ball forward. It is going to be a throw-in for the Terriers. Throwing going to be coming down the line here. 6 minutes remaining here in half number 1. Ball up to Obradovac. Kylie White will fade out wide. Robitelli gets a toe in. Rides a challenge. Space for Robitelli. Robitelli tries to play in. Gabriella Vetrano leads her a bit too far. Nivola not bothered on that one. Julia Greer flicks the ball downfield. Abby Wise is there. Wise being challenged by Obradovac, and she'll win the Terriers a throw. Obradovac has been very good. This is the player I remember from last season in the Southern Conference tournament and visiting Cullowhee. over the course of her career has really given the Southern Conference fits. Surprised to see her struggling for minutes on this Wofford team. Didn't start today, came in off the bench. Catamounts will give chase as the ball was sent forward. It's Gellner following. Ball rides up the legs of Obradovak. Robitelli gets pulled down from behind. That's Minor again. She should just about be on a card now with a couple of really physical challenges. The official does not start to reel this thing in. Somebody likely to get hurt. Both teams now could have seen additional fouls and cards. The official content to let them play at this point. 3 fouls for the Terriers, 1 for the Catamounts. Muth over the ball. The Catamounts again lined up on the far side of the box. They will run forward. Muth will send the ball wide. They had Abby Wise there. Wise puts the cross inside. Robitelli can't get that one on target. Good cross in from Wise. Robitelli rose to meet it. Just didn't quite catch it the way she wanted to off of her head. See that one floating back post. I think Julia Greer did just enough to make sure that Robitelli couldn't get that one down. Again, Julia Greer, an offensive weapon. I'm very impressed with her willingness to sit back and get dirty on the defensive end and make sure that she is taking away opportunities from the Catamounts. Whitaker will send the ball back forward. Gellner's sliding tackle comes in from number 26, Mullen. Obradovak looks wide to Julia Greer. White will give chase. I believe Greer will get there, and she does. Greer now bombing forward. The Terriers sending lots and lots of late runners at the top of the box. It will be a corner kick as Kylie White on the defensive end just knocks the ball out of play. Second corner of the matchup for the Terriers. Again, earlier this season, the Catamounts were plagued by goals off of corners. They found their form recently, but this is another dangerous opportunity for the Terriers to potentially come in and steal a goal here right before halftime, under just about 2.5 minutes remaining. Ball crossed inside. Greer just overran it. The ball stopped and over the crossbar. There was Gonzalez on the shot there. Dangerous opportunity. Leanne Trudell registered a school record 29th clean sheet against the Citadel, one of the all-time winningest goalkeepers in program history. Diving effort there by Mary Lise Greer to stop a run from Maddie Lopez. Trudell stamped herself as one of the all-time greats here, as did many of these seniors here tonight. All of them major contributors over the course of their career. Muth bringing the ball forward, no pressure on her. With 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining, the Terriers are going to be content to sit back deep and make sure the Catamounts don't get a goal going into halftime. Ball is sent down the field to Davis. Davis will shoot it wide to Whitaker. Whitaker will drop it back to Muth. Muth given lots of space. She'll look to try and pick one over the top. Vetrano traces it back. Gellner is there, Lopez is there to kick it back inside to Roberts. Roberts looks on the outside for Kylie White. White takes a step inside, has it taken away from her. Robitelli tries to get in there and win it. Can't do so. Now Julia Greer streaming down the outside. She has got support inside from Obradovak. Being ushered towards the sideline by Addison Davis. She puts the cross inside. Mary Muth is there and will win the ball forward. Good step forward. That could have been a foul called on the Catamounts. And is a foul eventually going to be called on Western Carolina. Coming up, we have our Harris Regional and Swain Community Hospitals halftime report. So stick with us, an interview with WCU head coach Chad Miller, our Mountain Credit Union's news and notes, Ingles first half stats, and some first half highlights. Be coming up here in just a few seconds. Terrier's going to milk this one and take the last bit of action of the first half. Again, Terriers a big team. Catamounts a little more on the slight side. They kick the free in. It bounces around. Obradovac puts a shot in. It goes over the bar. That'll be the last touch of half number one. And it has been an uneventful slog here in the first half between the Catamounts and the Terriers. Neither team really having much of an advantage. The Catamounts heavy in possession, have 7 shots compared to the Terriers 3. We'll be back with our halftime report. Again, the Terriers and the Catamounts knotted up 0-0 on today's presentation of Southern Conference. We are seeing today in a 0-0 draw down in Spartanburg. Take a look at the stats brought to you by Ingalls. Again, 7 shots for the Catamounts, 3 for the Terriers. Neither team registering a shot on goal. If that tells you anything about how that first half went. 4 fouls for the Terrier, 2 for the Catamounts. It did get a bit dicey towards the end of that first half. Both teams kind of letting it go a little bit. The official letting things ride. 2 corners apiece, 1 offsides for Wofford. They were about to break a big attack but couldn't hold their run until the very last second. So those are your first half stats brought to you by Ingalls. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. You see a cross coming inside, just missing. There's Obradovac sending one over the top of the crossbar a couple of different times. In the Catamounts here, Robitelli can't quite get on top of that one. Siska puts that one in, it just achingly goes just a bit wide. A header from Julia Greer goes just a bit wide, and that's really been the story of this contest. That by DeMarco, really the best chance. Here's DeMarco again, missing wide. And it has been a battle of attrition between these two teams. The midfield slugging it out. The defense of the Terriers giving nothing to the Catamount attack. Let's take a look around the Southern Conference and those scores I mentioned. The Citadel, big upset victory over Chattanooga to earn their second win in conference play. 2-1 the final there. Again, VMI stormed back up 2-2 at halftime. Sanford putting them away though in the second half for the victory, and ETSU and Furman tied 0-0 at halftime, much like this Western Carolina Wofford game. Keep an eye on that Bucks and Paladin score for you as we continue on today. Again, 2 of the top teams in the Southern Conference. The Furman Paladins started red hot, but have had a bit of a hiccup here in the last several games as the season has gone along. The Wofford Terriers trying to join them as the only team to pick up a victory in conference play here since 2023. The Furman Paladins ended a near 2-year run of undefeated Southern Conference matches here on the pitch of the Catamount Athletic Complex. The 2 teams taking the field once again. No changes for the Catamounts. You're still looking at DeMarco, Siska, Susie, Bertrands, Goklowski, Whitaker, Wise, as well as Muth and Davis, with Robitelli sitting deep in the middle. Obradovac will stay in the game. That is a change from the starting lineup, as will Kaylee Gonzalez start the second half. Both of those closed for the Terriers. I thought Obradovac really came on and made a huge difference for Wofford towards the tail end of that first half. She was doing a lot for the Terriers in terms of trying to control, creating chances. As we are underway, Abby Wise heads it forward. Susie now on this near sideline has it poked out of play by the Terriers. Ellie Gower. Obradovac kind of running through the back of Robitelli there. Again, I mentioned earlier, it was getting chippy at the end of the first half. And the official may end up needing to pull some cards to make sure this gets back under control. Davis will look wide to Muth. Starting much like the first half did. Ball goes inside, it's headed backwards. It will go out of play. Actually would have been better for the Catamounts had that stayed in play. Susie was left wide open there on the wing. Isabella DeMarco will have a corner kick here. She did register an Olympico in the preseason from this corner. Catamounts racking up 4-0 wins over Charleston Southern as well as Queens in the preseason. Ball comes inside. Robitelli tries to get head on it. Julia Greer is there. Again, good physical play from Greer. Kuklowski has it bounce off of her. It will go out for a goal kick. And the Terriers survived the Catamounts' first attack of this second half. Navola will look to put it up towards the target forward. Doesn't quite get it there. It goes a little bit short. It's headed towards Obradovac. Foul is going to be called on the Catamounts. A free kick coming for the Terriers deep in their own territory. 5 fouls on the Terriers, 2 on the Catamounts. Trying to see who will take it. There is the captain, Bailey Mullen. She is going to cede way to Mary Lise Greer, the older sister of Julia Greer. Ball sent forward. DeMarco can't quite get on it. Julia Greer again battling in the midfield. Poked back to Samantha Whitaker. Robitelli dribbles in a circle to create some space from Obradovac. It's played to the middle to Lucy Bertrands. Again, back to Addison Davis. Davis looking for a pass deep in the box. Can't quite get it to Siska. It's going to fall to Julia Greer. DeMarco going to provide some pressure. DeMarco trying to win the ball is just played out. Will be a Catamount throw. Not playing around was Carson DeMars. This ball goes into Siska. She tries to turn it towards Lucy Bertrands. Gonzalez giving chase, but Whitaker is there, and we'll cycle it back to Mary Muth. Muth playing up to Robitelli. Robitelli out wide to Whitaker. Whitaker moving forward to Kuklowski, giving right back to Whitaker, but one off of her. Now Obradovac will look to try and create some space for some runners. She has one down the far sideline, finds her. The Terriers now bombing forward with Gonzalez. Gonzalez being double marked by Whitaker and by Robitelli. Davis reads the pass inside, and she'll send it forward, looking for Mila Siska. Oh, a sandwich. Siska gets it from both ends. DeMarco runs onto the ball, though. Advantage being played. DeMarco looks wide. She'll cut it across. DeMarco has it saved by Navola. DeMarco using the speed to blitz down the field. Navola, a diving stop to push that one just outside of the near post. Going to take it is Sophia Kuklowski.
Corner kick brought to you by Stanberry Insurance.
And Siska popped up, but she was sandwiched in the build-up to that play. That was actually all an advantage played by the official, a good advantage for the Catamounts. They'll now have this corner kick. 8 shots for the Cats compared to the Terriers 3. It's bounced outside to DeMarco. DeMarco looks to cut aside to make some space. It sails over the top. Will be a Wofford goal kick. Just about 5 minutes into half number 2 here. Much of what we saw in the first, that DeMarco chance was the best for either team, I think, throughout the game. That lightning quick sprint down the side of the box. She looked to try and pull it across the mouth of goal. Elizabeth Navola, a great save there by the sophomore. Again, another push in the back. Robitelli is taking a beating in the midfield right now. The senior not having it easy on her night. Whitaker will line up over this one. Lots of space on the near sideline with Abby Wise. Davis creeping up as well. Whitaker sees that and will take it to Davis. Davis will chip it inside, looking for Siska. It's headed down. Lucy Bertrands is there. Bertrands puts a shot in. Navola watches it the whole way, right at her. Catamount shot number starting to creep up. 10 shots compared to just 3 for the Terriers. Catamounts have had 3 here in the second half alone. Ball bounces in the middle. Siska drops back to receive. There is Kuklowski. Kuklowski sprinting down the sideline to try and put a ball in the middle. It's well read by Mullen. The captain sends it out of the box, but it falls to the feet of Whitaker and now Robitelli. Gutklowski keeps it in, puts across inside. Siska again, sandwich. She goes down again. The seniors really getting beat up today for the Catamounts. Very, very physical play by the Wofford Terriers as they are leaping with the Catamounts at every opportunity. Big bombing pass forward to Emma Susi. Susi puts it back into the middle. Isabella DeMarco trying to create some space. She drops it for Robitelli. Robitelli has a shot. It will go over the crossbar. Both teams firing high and wide all night. You see the dirty jersey there on Robitelli. How many times has she hit the dirt so far? But her head coach Chad Miller at halftime talking about how his senior midfielder might be shorter than most everybody else she's going to be up against. However, she has incredible leaping ability, incredible grit and toughness that led her to success as the Southern Conference Defensive Player of the Year last year. Lucy Bertrands drops it into Robitelli. Robitelli being given some space by Obradovac. She'll stay in the middle. Gonzalez presses up. Now Gutklowski will look to drive inside. Tries to go through the 5-hole. Defended well by Mary Lise Greer, and it will be sent to the sideline. Samantha Whitaker will take a quick throw in. She is looking for Siska. Siska puts the ball into the middle. It is bounced around between Terriers like a pinball. Lucy Bertrands tries to take it off of Obradovac. Really good strength shown there and good technical ability by Obradovac to make sure that Bertrands couldn't take it off of her feet. And the Catamounts will cycle all the way back to Leanne Trudell. Trudell not had a ton to do today, as the Terriers, again, sitting in a very, very deep block, ensuring that when they do attack, it's on the counter where they can have some numbers. Ball goes in over the top. Gutklowski chasing. Navola comes out and grabs. She was marked well by Mary Lise Greer. Sent high into the lights, looking for Julia Greer. She heads it forward. Addison Davis will send it over the top. DeMarco is moving backward. Siska not quite able to give chase. So right now, both teams just firing over the top. It's like a game of Battleship, just hoping to find somebody down there to hit the ball forward. Robitelli's gonna line that one up in the air. Whitaker overruns it just a little bit. It falls back to Robitelli. Robitelli up to Gutklowski. Gutklowski now with some space. She's going to try and play in DeMarco. DeMars is there to send it wide. Whitaker looking for an option, waiting. There's Lucy Bertrands coming in from the middle. Transfer from Limestone. Robitelli almost has it taken off of her. Now she's given some space, though, as Wofford settles back into that deep block. Mary Muth dribbling forward. Muth takes a shot that'll go over the crossbar. Don't think that is the kind of shot that head coach Chad Miller is going to be looking for. Muth has a really good, accurate long ball. Not seen her hit a shot from there, though. And Muth transfer, stepped right into the starting lineup last season. Was preseason All-Southern Conference this year in her junior season. Gutklowski heads it forward. It bounces off of some Terriers. Eventually Gutklowski on top of it again. It's played backwards. Now Wofford looks forward. Can't quite connect with Obradovac. Now Abby Wise on the ball. Up to Susi. Julia Greer with a good step in and challenge. It's still the Catamount throw, though. We do have an update on the Furman and ETSU game. ETSU going on top 1-0 in the battle of teams towards the top of the Southern Conference. So the Buccaneers striking against the Paladins. DeMarco trying to strike here against the Terriers. It is going to go well wide. 34 minutes remaining, almost 10 minutes through this second half, and again the Terriers battening down the hatches, playing for the point, maybe 3 points if they can get lucky on the counterattack. But right now, they seem very focused on being defensively solid. First and second, and then maybe the third option, attacking forward. Looks like we're having an issue with one of the players stopping to tie the shoe. I believe that was Miner in the midfield. Klowski heads it back. Siska is there. Siska taps it out to Emma Susi. Susi on a run, has support inside with DeMarco. DeMarco will chase it down. She keeps it in play. She runs through, tries to play in Robatelli. It's batted out of play. Good defensive work by the Terriers once again. Ball goes to Addison Davis off the throw-in. Davis will look to switch up the field of play all the way back to Muth. Obradovac presses her. Davis, though, will look wide to Abby Wise. Here is Wise, the senior, looking inside to her counterpart, Robatelli. Wise will pass it along again to DeMarco. DeMarco cycles it back, didn't have the right angle for a shot. Lucy Bertrands tries to look wide, bounces around. Nobody from the Wofford Terriers even attempting to leave their position as Wise gets into it. Siska brings it down. Siska can't keep to her feet, and it's cleared out as wide as Goklowski. However, still deep in Terrier territory. There is Goklowski. That was Whitaker who kept it in. Whitaker now bombing into the box. It falls to the feet of Emma Susi on this near sideline. Susi tries to turn the corner. Well, the Catamount captains has it booted out of play. It will be a Catamount corner kick. Catamount sixth of the evening. Isabella DeMarco will be over top of it. It was good defensive work there by Tarifdar. You saw number 27. DeMarco will fire it inside. It is cleared on the ground. Bertrands will take a shot, bounces off of Obradovac. DeMarco with it at her feet. She'll put a shot in. Navola got there. Looked like she might have had trouble handling it initially. Mary Muth was providing some pressure from the back line. Let's take another look at DeMarco, the slicing, their pass or shot, either way, and it did almost fall out of the grip of Navola. You could see her grinning as she maintained control. Bouncing all around in the midfield mixer as the ball has been much of the day. Played out by the Terriers. Again, the shots now 15-3 overall in favor of the Catamounts. However, I believe the Terriers are going to take that all day, every day, if they can get out of here with a point. However, they may be looking for more here. Julia Greer, one of the leading offensive players, plays in Obradovac. Muth will put it wide. Whitaker gets beat on the inside. That one floats in towards the middle. Cleared away by Emma Susi, way back from the wing. Isabella DeMarco may be able to break free, though. That's the danger Wofford faces in bringing bodies forward. She's going to play it centrally. Here's Mila Siska. Siska over the bar! That's one she's going to want back, because what a golden chance. The weight on that pass from DeMarco was picture perfect. The Catamounts, frustrated they let that one get away. 30 minutes remaining here in half number 2. Navola taking her time with the goal kick. Susi going to be there with the header. Actually heads it directly into Robatelli. Unfortunate for her. She's shaking it off. DeMarco back to Wise. Now it's going to go all the way around to Mary Muth. Whitaker back to Muth. Wofford slowly moving forward. Catamounts trying to pull them out of an extremely solid defensive shape. Lucy Bertrands looks down the sideline for Susi. Susi will put a cross in. Navola gets there right in front of a charging Mila Siska. Navola has been solid. The Catamounts have had lots of possession and lots of shots, but have only really tested her a handful of times in this contest. We do have another update as Furman has drawn even once again. They trailed the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State. A sliding tackle by Julia Greer goes through Ava Robatelli. Again, that Furman Paladin and ETSU Buccaneer matchup 1-1 in the second half as Julia Greer cleaned the clock of Robatelli there. Wofford has had no hesitation kind of sliding in and this matchup, playing very physical. It's what you expect when a team is sitting back in a low block. They have to be really aggressive defensively. There's Oberdovac forcing Muth to move forward. It is punted away by Gower. Lucy Bertrand recovers. Whitaker back out to Guklowski. DeMarco now. DeMarco with a good first touch. Breaks inside. DeMarco stopped by Mary Greer. Now back out to Lucy Bertrand. She'll put a ball in the middle. It's headed away. Muth will send it back towards the box. It's just kicked away back to Davis by the Terriers. Bertrand drops back to Davis. Davis will look to the near sideline. Abby Wise. Wise has shown to be a really dangerous weapon from deep balls from this corner of the field. That one bounces in and around the box. Siska will run onto it. Siska looks wide to DeMarco. DeMarco with a good first touch. DeMarco fires, and it's into the back of the net. Isabella DeMarco puts the Cats on top, 1-0. The dam finally breaks, and the Terriers have conceded in the 64th minute. And who else would it be but Isabella DeMarco? Great pass from Siska. The seniors connecting together. Beautiful strike over Nivola's hands. And the Catamounts have finally gotten on top. Her 8th goal of the season for Isabella DeMarco. In the pantheon of the all-time greats of Western Carolina University Catamounts, she stands alone at the top with just her shadow to keep her company. Play going to be stopped for just a second. Got some substitutions coming in. Catamounts also dealing with some cleat issues. Checking in for Wofford, it's going to be McKinley High, forward. Also, Charlotte Simas checking in for the first time. So we may now see Wofford kind of push forward in the attack to try and get an equalizer here. Mary Muth, the one struggling with some issues with the shoelaces. Leah Roberts looked like she was going to check in for the Catamounts, ran back to the bench. Now she's back at that check-in position. Kate Markey also checking in. A whole bunch of forwards for the Terriers now. They'll look to press forward. Davis will look back to Leanne Trudell. Up to Guklowski. Guklowski giving some space to run. DeMarco being marked ahead of her. Is opening up a lot of lane. Now forward into Lucy Bertrand. Bertrand's back out to DeMarco. DeMarco dribbles inside, puts a cross all the way in. Susie tries to turn it. Can't quite do so. Good challenge from behind by the Terriers. Gabriella Vetrano checking in at that last dead ball as well, replacing Mila Siska. Emma Susi battling with the newly checked in McKinley High. Back to Trudell. Catamounts have lined up a couple of different substitutes. Looks like 3 will be coming on at the next opportunity. Here come the Wofford Terriers. It is a 4-on-4 break. Muth steps up. It finds High. High will put a cross in. Oh, there's going to be an opportunity for a shot. It's cut back by the Terriers. Trudell with a diving save. It's cleared away. Let's take a look at that one Great cutback, great shot by the Terriers, Annie Andrews. But Trudell dropping down, you can see the big sigh of relief. That's her first test of the contest. Susie and Bertrand will head out for the Catamounts. Kylie White in, Malia Roberts in. Wise gets a toe to that one. Davis pops it forward to Vetrano. Vetrano will have some space. She kicks it ahead, looking for the newly checked in, number 28, Liliana Iacofano. Forward pass is taken by Kylie White. White has some opportunity to run forward. She looks for Iacofano. Iacofano, a good first touch. She'll return to the sprinting White. White now down the sideline, cutting inside, beats the first defender, puts the cross in. It's headed down. Iacofano can't quite get the shot off. It's blocked away well. Headed down by Abby Wise. White chips it to the middle of the field. Robitelli tries to get a toe in there, can't. There is Mary Muth to clean up. Muth hits the deck. It looks like potentially got stepped on in the ankle by Annie Andrews. Mary Muth recovering on the ground. They are going to bring the trainers out to take a look at her. Again, there was a slight collision maybe with the feet with Annie Andrews of the Terriers. Looking at this Wofford defense, they have held tight so far, allowing just the one Catamount goal. WCU has scored at least 2 goals in 6 of the last 7 games, having only been shut out 4 times this season. They lead the Southern Conference in shots and shots on target, and are out shooting opponents 246 to 163 on the season, and have more shots on goal than opponents to the tune of 115 to 78. The offense is 28 goals, plus 13 goal differential, and 25 assists, sit them tied for second in the Southern Conference. Muth still down, getting her ankle looked at. We mentioned it was senior night here in Cullowhee. We are going to take this opportunity to take a look at the Siska shot and then the Trudell save. So we take a look at some highlights here in the second half of action. Here's DeMarco putting it in. Susie there getting taken out on that challenge. I do think it was a good challenge, though. She just hit the deck. And then Trudell with an incredible save, showing you why she is one of the best goalies to ever don the pink goalie shirt for the Catamounts. Muth still being looked at. She's now being helped to her feet, so it's good to see her up on her feet. A like-for-like change will be likely if she has to miss time. I would assume Riley Niemeyer would come inside, or Malia Roberts would drop in to replace Muth if she has to miss any significant amount of time. Riley Niemeyer did come in to replace Muth. Again, Niemeyer has been really the 5th defensive player this season, especially the back half of this season. She can play anywhere across the back line. Can the sophomore from Independence, Kentucky. 5'10", she has good size to play inside the center back position. She also has enough speed to play outside. That's where she did a lot during her freshman year. Kind of moved inside with Abby Wise staying outside for her final campaign this year. So we'll continue to check on Mary Muth. There you see Riley Niemeyer, the sophomore, with her trademark pink bandana on the top of her head. Ball into the middle. Malia Roberts is there, heads it backwards. It's going to fall to Samantha Whitaker. Whitaker sends it forward. Iacofano going to try and run onto it. Good defensive play there by Mullen, the Terrier captain, to knock it out for a Catamount throw. Whitaker will step up and throw inside. The Lincolnton, North Carolina native finds a run from Roberts. That will be a foul committed by Roberts on the run inside. Nivola will take the kick. Ball goes short, kicked over the top. A big collision there. Welcome to the game, Riley Niemeyer. She is sent to the turf immediately upon checking in. Roberts with a good fake there to create some space by Annie Andrews. Now Davis stepping forward. She's going to look wide, but Kylie White was just a little bit too far ahead. The two freshmen not linking up on that play. Throw in. Hit it backwards by Andrews. Abby Wise battling her. Now back to Davis. Recently checked back into the contest again with Charlotte Simus. Abby Wise. Back to Davis. And the Catamounts can play a bit more of a cat and mouse game here. Pardon the cat pun there. They can try and bait Wofford out of the shape and look to try and exploit that. Here is Sophia Kuklowski going down the sideline. Kuklowski puts a shot in. That will go well wide, and it will go for another goal kick for the Terriers. Excuse me, that one will go for a corner kick. It must have been deflected on the way inside. Kuklowski will head back to take it. The Catamounts assembling everybody towards the middle of the penalty spot area. Everybody inside the 6-yard box. Just two Catamounts outside of the box for Kuklowski. This will be the Catamounts' 5th corner kick compared to just 2 for the Terriers. This one floats inside. Davis gets a foot on it, but that one was always going well over the bar. Had a lot of loft, so it took a little while, but Davis can't quite get that one on target. Now it will be a Terrier goal kick. 21.5 minutes remaining here in half number 2. The Catamounts on top, 1-0 right now. Kuklowski heads for Iacofano, but again, Mullen is there to escort the ball out of play. Iacofano will leave for Whitaker to come and take. Now a bit of gamesmanship from the Catamounts. Taking their time getting the ball downfield. Quick throw in though, back to Ava Robatelli. She will chip it to the far side. Kylie White gets a knee to it. White will recover. She's got support with Abby Wise. Wise chips in a deep ball. It finds the head of Vetrano. Nivola hits the ground and she'll recover. Vetrano and Iacofano were there waiting to pounce, and that is what I mentioned earlier. Abby Wise, if you give her time and space in that middle part of the defense's half of the field, she can pick out a pass with the best of them. That's why she stayed on the outside this year, having come back from injury last year. Davis battling with Andrews. Andrews again in charge. Andrews shoves Abby Wise to the ground. I will say, Andrews has come in and been extremely physical. So foul going to be called there. Let's take another look at it as Wise tries to turn, tries to shield, and Andrews was not going to have being shielded off of that ball. Ball floats through the middle. Roberts can't quite get there. Robatelli recovers well. Really great speed to go along with that leaping ability has made her such an elite defensive midfielder. The ball goes inside to Iacofano. Iacofano pushes it forward. Vetrano knocks it out of play. It'll be a throw in for the Terriers deep in their own territory. Wise will actually knock it off of White there. Throw in going to be coming from Tarifdar. Robatelli wins the header. Andrews looks backward to Tarifdar, now forward. Wise will get it to White. Good read by Gower in the midfield to win the Terriers possession once again. They try to move the ball forward. It bounces off the back of Addison Davis. Here's Kylie White with some space to operate. White will look to put a ball inside to Iacofano, well read by the Terrier defense. Andrews will play it back to Tarifdar. Tarifdar back to the middle. Pressure coming from Vetrano. It'll eventually bounce off of the Catamounts and go out of play. Western looks to be preparing some substitutes, as does the Wofford Terriers. They're going to take the opportunity to make the changes now. See the Catamount substitutions. Gutklowski is going to be heading out. Maddie Lopez checking in for the second time. Her first action in the second half. Again, lots and lots of speed. So if the Terriers do start to push a little bit, looking for the goal, Lopez does have the ability to get behind the defense and make folks pay. Robitelli heads it down to Roberts. Booted forward by Abby Wise. Iacofano gets ahead to it. It's well read by Carson DeMars. She's been good on the back line for the Terriers, as has Bailey Nolan. Wise will have the throw in, but before that, Catamount's going to bring in 3 more substitutes. Vetrano, Iacofano, and White will all head out for the returning starters, 2 of which the seniors you see there, DeMarco and Siska. Emma Susi, captain, also checking back in. So having had a minute or two of break, DeMarco will try and get a brace here in the second half, the final 17 minutes of play. Here is Susi back to Wise. Wise inside to Roberts. Roberts will look across the field to Whitaker. Whitaker pulls the trigger up towards Mila Siska. Siska nods it towards goal. DeMarco makes Navola pick that one up. Full speed sprint at the Wofford keeper. Checking back in for the Catamounts now after her earlier injury is going to be Mary Muth. Good minutes from Riley Niemeyer there. Your center back, sometimes you never want to hear your name called, and outside of drawing a foul, that's exactly what happened with Niemeyer. Throw in short on the far sideline. Pressure from DeMarco forces the error. Robitelli inside now. She's got space on the far sideline to Susi. Susi calls for it and gets it. Susi about to lose her captain's armband. Must be something up today with those, having Siska lost hers earlier. Ball goes inside over Siska's head and gathered by Navola. .5 minutes remaining. The Catamounts quadrupling the output of shots, 20-4. More than quadrupling. Ball's headed down. DeMarco with a really good touch. She will leave it for Susi to run on to. Tarifdar with a potential game-saving challenge there. It's going to find DeMarco, though. DeMarco will lay it off for Robitelli. She's given some space. Robitelli can shoot from here. Robitelli bombing forward. It's going to fall to Siska. The flag has stayed down. They were trying to hug it out there in the middle. And a foul going to be called on Robitelli. Let's take a look here at the hug between Mullins and Robitelli. Oh, sometimes, to quote the best friends, you just gotta hug it out. Ball's going to bounce to Susi. Tarifdar gets there first. Wise will get back in front. There is a foul, a stoppage going to be called on the other side. So Terrier is down. It looks like that is number 15, Delaney Meyer, who is getting back to her feet there. Did not see what was happening on the far side of the field. All the action here on the near side. There is Ellie Gower. She has put in a hard shift today. Lots and lots of defensive work. Let's see if we can see. There was the collision there. It was actually a header. So must have just given her a bit of a jolt to head that one away. Checking back in is going to be Kaylee Gonzalez. Robitelli to Wise. Mary Muth. You can see that ankle in the top of the foot there has been taped. So clearly some damage done earlier when she had that injury. Playing through it though. Here in this contest against the Terriers, we'll see how it affects her speed out on the pitch. Muth is one that depends more on positioning than speed. Terriers moving forward here. Malia Roberts tries to press Julia Greer. Greer looks forward, ball bouncing around. Malia Roberts tries to shoot it forward. Julia Greer with a great header back into the mixer. Going forward to DeMarco. DeMarco drops it for Siska. Siska will look to chip it over the top for DeMarco. DeMarco's going to run onto this one. She's going to be the first one there by a mile. DeMarco now looks to beat the first defender. DeMarco still with the ball at her feet. She's going to look for a run from Lopez. Lopez comes up with a bit of a limp, though. Whitaker will throw in back to the back line, and Mary Muth. Davis will go back to Muth. In the tape on that right ankle there. Abby Wise will chip ahead looking for Siska. Tarifdar is there. Roberts drops it back for Wise. Wise looks to Susie. Space inside for Robatelli. Susie finds her. Robatelli now back to Susie on the outside. Lots of space for her. Robatelli continues to run inside. Robatelli with some space tries to put it in. Good sliding block there from Elizalde. Terriers number 8, Elizalde, stopping a good Catamount attack. DeMarco now on the corner kick. Catamounts all gathered around the far post this time on the corner routine. Goes towards the middle, finds the feet of Siska. Siska takes a shot at it. Can't quite get it. It will be sent away all the way back out to Abby Wise. Wise will chip the ball forward. It's headed towards Roberts. Roberts brings the ball down, tries to play it past, can't do so, but does force a pass wide. Wise gets there first. Good reaction by the senior. Isabella DeMarco now, looking to add to her tally for her career. DeMarco will take a shot, chip it up towards Siska. Siska can't direct it on target. Nivola will gather. 11.5 minutes remaining here. Catamounts looking for win number 4 to keep pace with the Sanford Bulldogs on the season. Western still with dates against the UNC Greensboro Spartans and both Tennessee teams in the Southern Conference, ETSU and Chattanooga. Of course, we'll be adding a third Tennessee team in 2026 in the Southern Conference as the purple and gold Tennessee Tech team will join a very strong women's soccer program as well as football program. Ball play forward for Isabella DeMarco. DeMarco's going to run on to it. She's got some space. Tries to get inside. Good stand-up defense. Physical play, no foul called. Susie, though, will look inside to Robatelli. Blocked away. Coming back to get it is Andrews. Elizalde looks inside. Now Greer moving the ball, looking to go all the way across the field, and does. A slip by Samantha Whitaker. However, Gonzalez will look backwards. A couple of substitutes coming on now for the Wofford Terriers. Looks like Elizalde will head to the bench. Coming on is going to be number 33, Emma Valdez.
And number 33, Emma Valdez.
Sophia Gaklowski will be replacing Maddie Lopez at the next opportunity as well. There is Lopez getting ahead on that one, sending it back into Terrier territory. Here is Julia Greer, the offensive talisman for Wofford. She's bringing the ball up, distributes wide. Tarifdar looks backwards. That's Valdez just checked in. Good shielding play by Andrews. Andrews going to try and rip a shot. Davis, the freshman, stands strong though. Deflects it. Here's Maddie Lopez trying to win the ball back. Now to Minor. Minor will send the ball back to Valdez. Abby Wise in control now. Off of Tarifdar. Wise tries to put it in, keeps it in play. She's happy to sit there and wait to get fouled at this point. Eventually Davis just steps aside and chips it forward. Malia Roberts can't quite beat Julia Greer to it. Greer still in control. She's looking for a way forward, but Roberts deflects it out of play. That could have been extremely dangerous if the Catamounts had a minute to look up. Isabella DeMarco, eyes were as wide as saucers as there was lots of room to run into with the Terriers pushed up forward. Tarifdar bounces it off of Susie. Here's Valdez. Trying to find a runner. Andrews comes back for her. Now moved into Greer. Roberts bodies up Julia Greer. Well done by the former All-Southern Conference freshman team selection from last year. Back wide to Tarifdar. Wise comes to close it down, as does Susie. Now Julia Greer given some space to try and pick a pass. It goes to the middle to Obradovac. Enos Obradovac, the transfer from Virginia Tech. A really strong first half. Have not seen much of her in the second half. Malia Roberts, excuse me, that was Mary Muth getting onto the ball with her head. She'll drop it back. As Wise clears it ahead to Siska. Siska heads it forward. Valdez will cycle back to Navola. Catamounts have two warming up now. Lucy Bertrands has joined Koklowski. Robitelli gets inside of Greer. Valdez looks now to Tarifdar. Tarifdar sends the ball forward. Andrews has that one pop off of her forearm, it looked like. Davis still in control. Susie, a bit shorter than Valdez, who wins the header. Physical battle between Andrews. Now a bit of a break as the Catamounts were stretched wide. Here come the Terriers. Shot goes in. Trudell with a leaping save, and she dives on top of it. Leanne Trudell keeps the Catamounts on top. Take a look here. The drive inside from Gonzalez, the leaping stop. And then the pounce on top of the ball by Trudell, senior from Canada. Big plays all around by the seniors in this contest. DeMarco with the current game-winning goal. Trudell with a couple of big saves. Maddie Lopez on the sideline, cuts back inside. Lopez will drop back. Can't quite connect on the pass to Robitelli. Ball goes inside, looking for Susie. Can't find her. Valdez does a good job of shielding. That will go out of play for a goal kick. Catamounts are able to make their substitutions now. Lucy Bertrands and Sophia Koklowski will come on for Emma Susie and Maddie Lopez. Checking back in is Allie Bernhard, who started the game for the Terriers. So they bring in more offensive weapons. Ball goes wide. Wise gets there first, chips it ahead. Valdez puts it down, but only as far as Bertrand. Bertrand will try and create some space. There's acres of it on the far sideline as she finds Whitaker. Whitaker now up to Koklowski, fresh off the bench. The junior, the Catamounts' second leading scorer, now looks wide to Bertrands once again. Bertrands will drop back to Abby Wise. Wise will cycle back to Addison Davis. 5.5 minutes remaining in the contest. The Catamounts looking to pick up another win here at home. They lead 1-0, trying to improve to 4-1-1 in the conference. Over the top to Lucy Bertrands. She tries to cut inside, looking for DeMarco. She'll press back and knock the ball out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Terriers. Valdez will take it. Goes into Obradovic. Tried to do a 1-2 there, did Greer and Obradovic, and Down go the Catamounts. Gajkowski now will play it up to Siska. Siska with some space. Siska with a shot. It's going to go wide. Siska, in the Catamounts' leading assister on the season. That one goes just wide. Navola was watching it the whole way. Ball is sent into the midfield, chipped ahead. No Terriers there, though. Wise will send it forward for DeMarco. DeMarco has the beating of Valdez right now. Looks to cut inside, does. Puts it all the way across. Robert stopped her run. I think she would have had a good shot on target there. Lucy Bertrand's now trying to create some space. Didn't get enough on that pass. Devola's going to try and come out and get it. Siska almost got there ahead of her. Devola. Roberts wins the header to Bertrands. Bertrands will just drop it back to Wise. 3.5 minutes remaining in this contest. Ball goes forward for DeMarco. Valdez is there, tries to shield her off of it. DeMarco's got it off of her. DeMarco has that one taken off of her by DeMars. DeMars again playing well. Bertrands chest it back towards Robitelli. DeMarco outside. Bertrands to Robitelli. Now out to Siska. Siska just going to dribble it towards the corner flag. Again, Siska used to being that big target forward for the Catamounts, and she's just going to continue to shrug off challenges. In fact, they're going to call a foul on Siska, much to the chagrin of the home fans. Do have a final on that top of the table clash between ETSU and Furman. It finished with a 1-1 draw. So an opportunity for the Catamounts to pick up some points on ETSU tonight if they can hold on to this lead. Already have surpassed Furman over the last few days, even though they did drop that matchup to the Paladins. There is that out-of-town score. Again, the Paladins and the Buccaneers, really strong teams battling to a 1-1 draw. ETSU initially had the lead before Furman was able to pull one back and earn a tough point. Roberts ends up on the ground. Robitelli ends up on the ground. Mullins will shoot it towards the sideline. Gajkowski is there. Gajkowski has it taken off of her. It goes back for the Terriers. They'll now look to build forward. Time running out for Wofford, just under 2 minutes remaining. Will go out of play. The Catamounts in their bench thought it was a throw-in. In that distraction, Wofford able to get a quick one out. Gajkowski, though, looks like there might have been an ankle injury on Wofford as the slip. I believe that's Julia Greer who's hobbling down the field. Ball headed towards Gajkowski. Bertrands takes it. Now we'll go back to Whitaker. Whitaker will bomb the ball forward over top, looking for DeMarco. It will run out of play, though. Just over 1 minute remaining for the Catamounts to try and hold on here to a 1-0 victory. Would earn Leanne Trudell a new school record, which she already owns, 30th career shutout.
1 minute remaining in the second half.
One of the all-time greats. She's earned the shutout tonight. 2 incredible saves. Oh, a big collision there on the sideline. Foul is going to be called. Robitelli hits the dirt. I think we're going to see game's first card as well. 46 seconds remaining. The clock is stopped on the whistle. You can see how dirty the jersey for the senior is. She has been putting in the hard work today. Take a look at that collision there. Robitelli, just a big-time collision. The foul awarded to the Catamounts. They're going to play it into DeMarco on the sideline. DeMarco going to just dribble towards the corner flag. 3 Terriers there. They eventually win it out. They'll have to hurry. 30 seconds remaining here in the contest as they inbound. Can they pull out a dramatic end of game tying goal Terriers are looking to do just that. They fire the ball forward. It's knocked out of play. 16 seconds remaining. They're going to have to make it quick in front of their own bench. Everybody moving forward for the Terriers. In fact, they stop and roll the ball out. I don't know why they would do that. The throw-in gets intercepted by the Catamounts, and that should do it. Poor clock management by the Terriers, and the Catamounts are going to come out on top. They're going to tie Sanford in the Southern Conference in terms of victories. The top of the table is still the Bulldogs, but the Catamounts are beginning to hunt them down as they pick up their 4th win in Southern Conference play, improved to 4-1-1. A tough Wofford defense was finally breached by the DeMarco. Isabella DeMarco, one of the best of all time on senior night. Celebrating her, Ava Robatelli, Leanne Trudell, Mila Siska. It was a special evening for those seniors as they earn the big win here in their senior night. Again, the Catamounts come out on top. A hard-fought victory, 1-0 over the Wofford Terriers. The Terriers will fall to 1-12-1, 0-5 in conference play, 8-4-3 for the Catamounts. Again, 4-1-1 overall. An exciting game here tonight has come to an end for our entire ESPN crew. I'm Josh Thompson saying so long from the Catamount Athletic Complex in Cullowhee, North Carolina, where the Catamounts topple the Terriers 1-0. All matches airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.